So Joel, I want to watch a Marvel movie. Which one should I watch first?
You should totally watch
12 seconds later. 1 eternity later.
Well, in my honest opinion is Iron Man, because honestly, I'm a die-hard release order person. I believe very strongly in release order. That's not just for Marvel, that's for like literally everything. If it exists, you should watch it in release order, in my humble opinion.
I'll just say Iron Man.
Okay, Iron Man. You should watch Iron Man.
I am Iron Man.
For phase 1, like, it doesn't make any sense to watch it in chronological order. The movies were released in this order for a very particular reason. You start with Iron Man. There's like no prior knowledge expected. It introduces you to the universe, it introduces you to the characters, it establishes some of the rules of what is believable, what is possible in this universe. And then in the post-credit scene, we have it teased that, oh, maybe there's a bit more to this than meets the eye. Maybe this is more than just an Iron Man movie. Maybe this is setting up more with Nick Fury showing up.
But then you've got Captain America First Avenger. Some dumb cunts are like, oh, this one comes first, so let's watch this one first. But the whole character of Howard Stark doesn't make sense if you haven't seen the first Iron Man and really the second Iron Man. And also it should be pointed out, if you watch it in chronological order, Captain Marvel comes in between Captain America and Iron Man.
I don't think we really need to point out how stupid that is.
The official honest to song standing is watch phase 1 in release order.
Phase 2. Now, is there any major differences between the release in chronological order?
Yes, Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I think I would still recommend Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 grouped in with Phase 3. I don't think I would bring it up before Age of Ultron. It's good to have a gap between them. A good space between things is good, because if you oversaturate, you're sick of it. Too much of a good thing. The timeline places Thor: The Dark World before Iron Man 3 for some reason. Iron Man 3, I think, is good as an immediate follow-up to Avengers, because it deals with the aftermath of Avengers, like with Tony's PTSD and whatnot, whereas Thor: The Dark World doesn't really have that much to do with Avengers.
You don't even need it. It doesn't matter to anything.
So Phase 2, on the whole, I would still strongly recommend release order, but not as strongly as Phase 1. If you want to watch chronological order, thematically, there isn't really any major problems with it. I'd say Iron Man 3 does make a lot more sense being straight after Avengers, but not as important as Phase 1 being in release.
Let's go to Phase 3.
I think Phase 3 is where it gets a bit more complicated. Are we going to talk about Black Widow now or later?
Now, in terms of Phase 3, Black Widow is one of the few ones that actually kind of makes sense to go after Civil War.
I disagree. I think Black Widow doesn't really work for lots of reasons. The big thing is the character of Yelena. It doesn't make sense to introduce her as a character and then have her disappear for like the entire phase, only to then come back in the next phase. I think Red Guardian's even going to be returning as well, so that also makes sense for it to be back later for the same reasons. Thematically, it feels like it's very much made to be seen after Endgame. And also the post-credit scene spoils Endgame.
Let me put this forward. First time watching release order, no matter what.
Yeah. On return viewings, it's really free reign. You do whatever the hell you want on return viewings.
To me, for at least Black Widow's character, makes more sense to go between Civil War and Infinity War.
I mean, I've only watched Black Widow once when it came out, so I don't really remember it very well anyway.
It just had bad CGI.
So then what's the next big change? Black Panther? Why is Black Panther earlier?
Well, think about it. Ragnarok happened right before Infinity War.
It kind of makes sense for Black Panther to be seen closer to Infinity War because it sets up Wakanda. It makes sense for Ragnarok and Black Panther to be both seen pretty much directly before Infinity War, because they're both very important for setting up Infinity War. Black Panther less so.
But then it doesn't really matter, because it can go closer to Age of Ultron, because that's when we first hear about Wakanda.
Spider-Man Homecoming. Actually, that might even make more sense being watched straight after Civil War, to be honest. Because it is a follow-up to Civil War.
That would actually work heaps good, because then Doctor Strange happens right before Ragnarok.
Maybe phase 3 we should break our little trend that's going here and recommend non-release. For first viewing, still watch release order just cause.
No, give us our custom order.
For our special order, I would put Homecoming straight after Civil War, followed by Doctor Strange, followed by Guardians Volume 2, Black Panther, Ragnarok, and then Infinity War. Paul Rudd and the Wasp and Captain Marvel. I think those two do make sense between Infinity War and Endgame, like as they are.
And we go on to Spider-Man.
For me, Far From Home does have to go straight after Endgame. You and I have a lot of disagreements over Phase 4 order.
One of the main points watching in chronological order is putting some more movies between Endgame and Far From Home. I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier should go between.
So yeah, my order is Endgame, Far From Home, WandaVision, and then Falcon Winter Soldier.
And then the rest of Phase 4 is just a huge mess. No Way Home right after Far From Home.
I would watch No Way Home after Loki. Because Loki establishes, really goes into establishing the multiverse. Beyond What If, I am not opinionated. Because after that, everything is so disjointed and has so little to do with everything. Other than Multiverse of Madness having to come after No Way Home. Everything is in just such a disjointed order that you can watch it whatever order you bloody feel like. I don't care. I'll just say release order for the sake of having something.